Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about players that I think Arsenal should sign this season. We should definitely make a lot of signings, I believe, or at least some key signings. And I feel in my previous video, I named a lot of players to sell, and realistically, not all of them will go. Not all of them will be sold, maybe half of them. But in this video, I'm just going to say a lot of players. I'm just going to yell, a lot of names, chuck a lot of names out there that I would like to see at the club. And even if we don't sign all of them, just sign some of them. Do you know what I mean? But firstly, just any goalkeeper. I don't know who in particular. Honestly, I feel like they don't have to be a well-known keeper because this will be a backup to Raya. This is not a first-team keeper. And I do not want the situation we had at the start of last season with Aaron Ramsdale and Raya. I doubt we will because Raya is the preferred option. But I reckon we can get some random, young keeper. And it's going to be somebody that we've never even heard of, It's going to be some random keeper that we haven't heard a lot about. And that's going to, take us by surprise, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be, someone absolutely insane. I mean, I heard some random rumour, apparently Chesney for a return, which would have been bonkers. But, so that's goalkeeper sorted. In defenders, I have two options for centre-back, honestly. Just for a little bit of coverage and a little bit of, backup, squad depth. First one I see a lot of rumours about already, so I feel like it's good to talk about. I feel Diomande, I think it's Diomande or Diamonde. He looks really good. He looks like a bruiser centre-back, He's a really big, strong, tough centre-back. And I feel he would be good cover for Gabriel and Saliba. And I believe in games against, the lower half in the Premier League, we might be able to wrestle them. Because I know Saliba, I'm pretty sure, played every single minute this season, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But I just feel like, for cup games, Diomande can do a job. But another player who plays for Ajax, who is incredible, young centre-back, can also play left-back. You might know who I'm on about, Hato. Hato looks the real deal. He looks like he can be incredible. And under Mikel Arteta, I believe that he can be a really, really good player. And I believe just having that centre-back backup, but the fact he can also play left-back, and I know, we all know, Mikel Arteta is a manager who likes versatility in players. He likes players that can play in multiple positions. So I feel, Hato will be a really, really good option. And then in midfield, there's three options that I'm going to talk about. First one, just because I see a lot of rumours about it, is Zubimendi, I think it is. I believe he plays for Real Sociedad. He looks really good. And I've heard a lot of, talk about this player for a few months now. And apparently Arsenal are linked with him. Obviously he's Spanish, like Mikel Arteta. And apparently he's meant to be really, really good. And he's linked with a lot of big clubs, though. So he's going to come with a big, big asking price. But I believe he would be a good, maybe like a Thomas Partey replacement, or just good squad depth, 100%. He is a statement signing. Here's a player that I don't see a lot of people talking about. But I reckon it would work. I reckon under Mikel Arteta, this player could flourish, and he deserves a chance to flourish. I'm talking about Morgan Gibbs-White. I believe he would be really good with Arsenal. I really do. And you can call me stupid, you can say what you want, but I reckon Morgan Gibbs-White is a brilliant player. I think he's good. I think he had a decent season last season. Obviously, it's hard with the club he's playing for, but I just think, honestly, he would be a baller for Arsenal. But then, if we want to make a real, money move, if we want to make a real, big signing, Bruno Guimaraes, okay? Bruno Guimaraes would change our midfield. He would absolutely change our midfield. Imagine Bruno Guimaraes, Rice, and Odegaard. That is Premier League winning. That is, we are here to win trophies. Okay, and I believe that would be absolutely insane. But then talking about winning trophies, Saka. He had little dips last season. Everyone wants to say that. He's still phenomenal. He is world class. He is an absolute talent. Bukayo, Starboy. I mean, I've got a picture of him. I've got a picture of him up there. You know, he is incredible. But he gets played. You know, even with injuries, he just plays. We need a proper backup. And I see people say Elise, and I have nothing wrong with the shout of Elise. I think that's a good shout, Elise. He would be phenomenal. I would love to see him in the Arsenal squad. But would he be willing to be second best? Is it good for his career to be second best? I'm not quite sure, you know. I don't think it might not be the right move for him right now, because I can see him signing for a number of other clubs, big clubs as well, who also have European football, playing first team. He could play first team for a lot of clubs, and he is a great player. Or he can stay at Crystal Palace, because honestly, the form that Crystal Palace ended last season, you know, is incredible. And if they make a few signings and they're actually serious next season about, you know, competing for Europe, I can see him getting a Conference League spot. But that's a topic for another video and a different day. But somebody I want to talk about is Somerville. Leeds haven't been promoted this season. Really upsetting, actually. I have a really good friend of mine who's a Leeds fan, so I quite like Leeds. I watch a lot of their games. But you're going to have players like Rutter, you're going to have players like Somerville, who are going to be looking around like, do I want to spend another year of my career in the Championship? You know, because they bottled the Championship, they could have won it. I mean, a lot of the teams right at the top were dropping points left, right and centre. They were dropping points. And then obviously they lost to Southampton, unfortunately. But I reckon Somerville, even though he's an absolute baller, either he plays in the Championship next season, or he plays as a squad player at a Champions League team. Championship, Champions League. Championship, Champions League. You choose Champions League. And I know he didn't play the best in the playoff final, but, you know, he's got 28 goals/assists in the Championship. He got Championship Player of the Year, for crying out loud. He is not a Championship player, okay? And Somerville, he's still, you know, he's not that old, you know? He's actually, you know, he's relatively young. And I reckon Somerville would be perfect for Arsenal. I think you can play him on the right. You can get away with playing him on the left, you know? And he would be incredible cover for Saka. Imagine him in cup games or in games against the lower sides, or imagine Saka's looking tired, you know, he needs to come off, and boom, fresh pace, fresh legs, Somerville. I think that would be incredible. But now, the signing that we need the most, a striker. We are desperate. Well, not desperate, you know. Havertz was incredible. You know, there's no shade towards Havertz. But we need a big striker, you know. We need a big money move striker, in my opinion. There has been... sorry if I keep looking over there. I've got, like, some notes that I've written up. First player I want to talk about is Osimhen. We've been rumoured with Osimhen before. A lot of teams are rumoured with Osimhen. I mean, the worst title defence, you know, I think anyone's ever seen, apart from maybe, you know, Leicester City. But in the Serie A, you know, to win it and then come 10th, and I don't see Osimhen, you know, not playing in Europe. It doesn't sit right with me. He would be phenomenal, wouldn't he? Osimhen for Arsenal would be absolutely phenomenal. He would be that guy. He would be incredible. But there's two other players I want to talk about. And honestly, I wouldn't mind any of these three. I don't know. Because I'm right now not too sure on who I'd rather. I'm not quite sure who I'd want, because... Or to word about, I wouldn't mind who we get, you know? Because I would probably rather Osimhen out of all of these. But he's going to be expensive. He's going to be very expensive. And can we afford that with FFP? You never know if we're going to get some of these other signings that I've been talking about. So another player I want to talk about is somebody who apparently we're very close to signing for around the 45 million range. Is, I believe you pronounce it Šeško. For, I think it's RB Leipzig. He has 18 goals all season. He looks really good, you know. He looks like the real deal. And I definitely wouldn't mind getting Sesko. But another player in my mind who I believe has flown right under the radar, and I mean, he's not under the radar. People know him. But nobody's talking about him. When people are making videos or talking about players that they want to sign, I don't see people talking about him, which is crazy. I'm going to pronounce the... I'm going to butcher the enunciation. I think it's Sorloth? Sorloth? The Norwegian striker in La Liga. He looks insane, you know? And him and Odegaard, the link-up will be incredible. He has 23 goals in La Liga this season. 23 just in the league. And he offers us something different to Havertz, in my opinion. You know? And I feel like he could be a phenomenal signing, you know? And I feel like because not a lot of other clubs and not a lot of other people are talking about him as much as an Osimhen or as much as a Sesko or as much as, you know, this, that or the other, I believe he could be just a phenomenal signing. So that's my video on who I think the transfer targets should be for Arsenal. Tell me what you think in the comments down below.